car is stuck in a snowdrift. Nora and Petra attach 2 ropes to the vehicle and try to pull it out by pulling in the same direction. Nora pulls with a force of 75 newtons and Petra pulls with a force of 68 newtons. There is a force due to friction of 40 newtons acting on the car. Sketch the free body diagram and determine the net force acting on the car. So we're going to draw the car, and the way we draw the car is just like we drew free body diagrams before. It's just a square. So imagine you're looking top down. We have the center where all the forces come from. So we have one person pulling, the first person. Their force applied, and this is Nora. Force applied, Nora. Then I also have my force applied by Petra. And you'll notice that Petra's is a little smaller because hers is just 68 newtons. And we said there is a force of friction. Well, friction is going to be opposing motion. So it's going to be opposing their pull. And it needs to be even smaller than theirs. So this is the force of friction. Okay? And in fact, force of friction would be negative in this case because it is in the opposite direction. We'll make these both positive and we'll make this one negative. So the force applied by Nora is equal to 75 newtons. The force applied by Petra was 68 newtons. And the force of friction is negative 40 newtons. Okay, and it was because of the diagram we drew that we knew that this one is going to be negative. From the instructions, it didn't say negative in front of it, so that diagram is very important. Okay, to determine the net force, we need to write out a formula. This is not a formula that you'll find on your formula sheet because every situation has different forces applied to it. But F net, the net of the forces, is always equal to the sum of all the forces added together. So in this case, we have force applied by Nora plus force applied by Petra plus our force of friction. And some people might want to say, well, we're really subtracting the force of friction. No, we're always going to write it that we're adding all the forces together. The negative that we have here is going to take care of itself. So the force applied by Nora is 75 newtons plus 68 newtons minus 40 newtons. All in newtons, so we can just add them together. 75 plus 68 plus negative 40, that's the way I should have that written. I got 103 newtons. Okay, so the net force is 103 newtons. That's how much they are pulling by.